Quarter time on Friday Night Football. Magpies lead by a point. Here's Wayne Kieran.
Yeah, thanks, Dennis. As Bruce said during the call, Collingwood have just been unbelievable at the way they've gone about tackling. I mean, they've had 26 tackles in the first quarter. They averaged 16 last year. They've been very good. And the big fella Witt, as you see here on the footage, that first tackle set up the first goal for Collingwood. They have just, it's back to 2010, 2011 type pressure for the Pies. And that's the reason why they lead, albeit by a small margin, in the first quarter. I just love the way they've played as a team. 2 or 3 guys just all over Fremantle and are making it very difficult for Freo to score. And Tim, I'll throw down to you. They said during the week that they wanted to kick more goals this year. Have you noticed any difference in the way they're playing?
Yeah, Fremantle stated that at the end of last season. Ross Lyon said they're looking for 2 extra goals a game. Well, the one thing I've really noticed in that first quarter, Richo, was how they tried to bring the ball back in the corridor. Now, in this game, to get something, you've got to give up something. So if you want to be more attacking, you've got to be a little bit less defensive. And Collingwood were onto it a couple of times there in turning the ball over. Have you noticed anything new about the way Collingwood's been playing?
Well, probably in the pre-season, we stated a lot in the press that Collingwood looked like they were going to handball a lot more, high handball numbers, but that's not the case in the first quarter. They've had 57 kicks, 33 handballs, and in that last half in their last practice match against the Gold Coast, they corrected that, and they've continued it in the first quarter here so far, Timmy.
One thing Bucks did say to me too this morning was about the way that they were going to play tonight, was that they were really going to go after Fremantle with their forward pressure. They wanted to play small forward so that they could really lock the ball in, and I reckon we've seen great evidence of that in the first quarter.
Travis Cloak. There you go. Is that a brand?
Well, we certainly know what they are anyway.
I tell you what, it's a body.
It's not bad, is it, eh? Dane Beams has been outstanding as Cloak hits for the forward line. Dane Beams, 11 possessions in the opening term. Best and fairest in 2012. Only played the last 8 games last season. What have we made of it, fellas?
I reckon the midfielders for Collingwood, to see Beams, Pendlebury, Ball, Swan and Sidebottom all getting their hands on the footy. I mean, as a quartet, if you like, the 4 of them, and then throw in Sidebottom 5. They didn't play all that often together, so their personnel's on the park, so that's positive.
No, they were good, but for how well they played around the middle of the ground and how well they got the ball out of those crunch situations, they still couldn't crack that Fremantle defence. 16 inside 50s for 2 goals is just terrible efficiency or conversion.
The tallest man and the second heaviest man to play AFL football right there, Aaron Sandilands. Starting his second term at Etihad Stadium. Bad bounce. Sandilands gets the tap straight to Grundy, and the umpire calls for it again. Umpire will throw it up this time. As I said, at quarter time, really up-tempo first term. Grundy did well, laid it into the path of Ball, finds a way through, goes down towards half-forward. Goldsack on the move. He's on the forward line just for the moment. A very unkind bounce. Johnson slams it out of there. Mundy got it from Fife. Thought it goes to Crowley. Active midfield down towards half-forward. Almost the clever mark to Pavlich. Picked up behind the pack by Grundy. That's what he's got to do. He's got to run. Make Sandilands work. He is very mobile. Meantime, one of his teammates momentarily had the ball. Brown. Swan grabs it and kicks it out of bounds.
There's going to be something, Grundy, isn't he? You just feel like over the next 2 or 3 years, his development will be one of the most interesting things in the AFL competition. I feel like, as I said earlier, he's been around forever, and this is his 8th game tonight, 19 years of age. Nothing seems to worry him much, does it?
No, it's the ball's deliberate. Out of bounds here. Collingwood ball. Loves the aggressive side of the game. I think that's what his teammates would love most about playing with Brodie Grundy. He came from a basketball background in South Australia. He's done some martial arts.
That gives you confidence, Tom.
Into his poetry, he's got the full array.
So Swan off half-back. He's played a bit down there early. Kicked a goal in the opening quarter along with Pendlebury. So Pendlebury and Swan, the goal kickers. There it is. So straight out from the throw-in, and Collingwood's kick. Sheridan and Ballantyne, the goal kickers for the Dockers. So Cloak and Pavlich, the 2 big scoring
that
options.
was an interesting call against Sandlands. I mean, if the ball goes out on the full, it's automatic. If you punch the ball out of the, ruckman punches out on the full, but it didn't go out in the full, did it?
No.
It's a big call to call that deliberate and free kicking for it.
So 5, Mundy belting the ball forward, gets it to about 35 metres. Brown and Pavlich, good battle again. Well done, Brown. Sinclair, belted by Ballantyne fairly. Lumumba, and then Lumumba with a cute little kick. It was well done to Macaffer. Macaffer, that was a bit slack in the end. Hill did well. Mzungu to Hill. Hill should kick a goal. He's 45 metres out, and he does. And the Dockers are in front.
Well, this is Fremantle at their absolute best. Macaffer arguing whether he was cribbed over the mark there, but just turnover and then the punishment, the finish by Hill.
Margin 5 points. Dockers on top. Sandilands brilliantly into the path of Fife. He kicks in the forward line, and the mark is taken by Pavlich. Low and hard, right on the chest. Not sure it was intended, but it was always going to be difficult. Such a clean clearance coming out of the middle, tough on defenders.
Well, that's why you play in front as a forward at the centre. Bounce a quick, unpredictable kick out. Pavlich in front, absolutely no hope for the defender there.
So, a good start with a couple of quick goals. The first goal took a while, only 2 for the opening term. I was talking, or trying to talk to the Pav before the game. They averaged 13 goals a game last season. And this one is way right as well. So Pav, normally a reliable kick, just has the odd day like this one, which isn't panning out too well. Margin 6.
So he's kicked a couple of behinds, as Dennis said. The first one was a bit difficult, but that one you would have backed him in. So Maxwell to himself, and then gets a fair way out. Johnson, big lead, couldn't quite. Clark, well done. Swan getting to start. The numbers are starting to tick over. Cloak. McFarlane, good battle, really good battle, good umpiring, letting it go. Mzungu to Hill. Hill, so dangerous on that left. Lumumba just worried out of it a bit. Freo starting to build the pressure. Waters went to ground. Collingwood have got to match them right here and now, I reckon. Spur, ball down low, fishing. Ball still not quite out, still in there in dispute. Elliott was involved as well, and the umpire wanting to keep it going. Lumumba, well done by Barlow. They force it forward. Sinclair against the tide. Pavlich got involved. De Boer, well done. Waters with the left foot to almost to the top of the square, close. Oh, what a kick. And that was Freo just building, wasn't it?
What we're starting to see, Bruce, is some of the bigger-bodied Freo midfielders getting their hands and getting the ball out of the clearance. Barlow's getting involved. Fife's getting involved. Mundy's getting involved.
So ball goes very short to the pocket. There's Clark. Fremantle by 7. Trailed by 1 at quarter time. Clark goes down the line. Well, couldn't quite go down the line. He misses and goes out of bounds on the full. Hill. The goal in this term sends it inside the forward 50, and Pavlich will get another go.
You can't beat the contested mark 30 metres out centre corridor. There's a pack of players around. He's a good defender, Brown, but Pavlich just got better body position, got the leap at the right time.
He's reading the drop of the ball well tonight, Pav, I reckon.
Yeah.
Finds himself about 35 metres out. Directly in front, he's on the clock. Could be feeling a little jittery. He's been missing right, and this one makes it. Puts it through. So suddenly Collingwood have a few problems. This margin up to 13.
So the Dockers 6 of the last 7 scoring shots here, 3-3 to a behind. So they've really upped the ante. Collingwood have got to respond. Not a great bounce. Witt's got a good run at it and attacked it hard. Ball's been very prolific. Goldsack might have been touched on the way through. Back to Crowley, had to stop and wait. Pendlebury probably should have got a free. Swan just couldn't quite. Pearce was good there, really good. Got it to Johnson, down the line. Maxwell belting the ball away. And a boundary throw in. But you feel like, I know it's early, but you feel like Collingwood need this next goal.
Freo starting to get it on top in the contested possessions. Those sort of balls just there. Daniel Pearce on that occasion. Johnson starting to free himself up across half-back also.
Fife getting busy as well, did nicely. Duffield to Hill. Spur facing the wrong way. Chance for Adams. Back to Spur, though. Heard a voice trying to dish it out to Fife. Follows up again. Well played, Spur. Some hard work there. Pearce inside the forward 50. Despairing lunge by Maxwell. After it goes Frost. Head down, almost a collision. Walters digs it out of there. Knocked by Brown to Adams. Now it's taken by Elliott. He's at left half-back. Nice finish. Pendlebury's got it. The new captain. Looks inside. A couple of players free. Behind his beams. Calls out Witts. Wants to go. Looks to the outer side. They change direction completely. Taken by Clark. Lumumba needs to run on. He's got it now. Over the top. They can get a goal here. This is Young. 52 metres out. Long kick. Slides it just across the face. And through it goes for a behind. 29 plays 17. Just a bit of steam has gone out of this game now. More space opening up certainly for the Dockers, and that time Collingwood.
So Young's had a couple of shots, not easy ones. That one on the run and the other one from a set shot, just the one behind. Fife maybe a little stiff there. Adams got it out first, and now Lumumba again. Running hard. Heretier, good kick to Pendlebury.
He's right at the moment, Nathan. I mean, he's such a good midfielder, Pendlebury, but I think the matchup of him on Crowley is really dangerous for Collingwood if they can be a forward half pairing. But if you sort of want Pendlebury's match-winning, ball-winning up the middle of the ground, that's always the quandary. Where do you put that pair?
Well, the best midfielders kick goals, don't they? And Pendlebury and Swan, their goal kickers so far. Good kick off the boot, but just fading away. And Collingwood missing a lot of shots here. No, the Dockers have as well. But that's a disappointing result.
Hanneth out of the back pocket to Duffield. Of course, with the style that Fremantle play, when you get your shots at goal as the opposition, there's a bit more pressure on them because they're really meaningful, and the players, when they're kicking it, know that to be the case. Here's Barlow. Lumumba's got active on the outer side. Meantime, in front of our commentary position, big leap at the back from Brown, and he thumps it across the line. 29 plays 17. As I mentioned earlier, Ross Lyon's 50th game as coach of the Dockers. Overall, Bucks has a slightly better percentage in terms of wins and losses than does Ross Lyon. That was interesting. Pendlebury hit in the face by the kick from Beams. Walters manages to keep it in. Beams over the top. Fife again. Good hands. Releases Pearce. Pearce goes down towards half forward. Working in front Tuvey. Couldn't hang on. Now they've got a problem. Getting back and falling to the ground down there is Langdon. Wasn't his fault. Was helped. Off the boot of Tuvey. It ricochets off Main close to the boundary. Now an opportunity for De Boer. Or was it Sutcliffe? He sends the ball inside. It was De Boer, and the mark has been taken by Barlow.
This was impressive. Great awareness to know where to go, winning the contest here. Almost knew there was going to be a player. They didn't really scan the field, backed his team structures in. Fantastic ball use.
Just for the moment, Bucks not enjoying his Friday night. Barlow then, 14 votes in the Brownlow last season. Only good enough for 7th, and the Dockers best and fairest, but he kicks the goal.
It was an issue for Collingwood last year. Once the opposition got the ball inside their defensive 50, Collingwood was scored against too easily, and that seems to be the trend so far. 10 scoring shots from the 19 entries.
So Barlow with a goal. What a game he played down at Geelong last year in that qualifying final, which changed the whole season.
High ball.
So good in an under ball to Pendlebury. Pendlebury wide, side bottom. Duffield free kick, I think side bottom.
Holding the arm. That's it.
So fair way out still. He's had a couple of shots on goal tonight. There's a poster earlier. So what does he do here? Where's Cloak? He's in the goal square. Has he got the length here? Well, he's going to wind it up and have a crack. It's not going to be a score directly. Now Grundy in the pocket, smother, good by Johnson. And then Sheridan and a boundary throw in. So Collingwood deep in attack. They need to create something here.
They trailed by 18 points. It's happened pretty quickly. Tossed in. Grundy works in front. Mzungu slaps it out of there. Getting back ball. Heard the voice. Nicely done. Clark, Beams, still finding it a lot. High ball towards the square. Cloak outnumbered again. They played him well. Slapped towards the line by a Docker. I think it was Dawson. And taken across by Johnson, who wants to come quickly to himself. Runs outside the goal square. Drives it up towards the wing. Why not? Pfeiffer's very good in the air. Well played. Although Maxwell's effort didn't come off. He engaged the body early, but now De Boer had given it to Hill. Kicks it inside the forward 50 and Pavlich. 2-on-1. Brown, one of the two. In fact, it's 3-on-1. Clark. Now Sinclair confronted. Still the pressure comes from the outman Dockers down there. Brown just lobs it out eventually to good effect. Taken by Maxwell. No help for Maxwell. He's holding the footy. Oh, gee, they peeled off again. They're wanting a hand pass. Someone needed to go and help him.
Yeah, but he had Beams, Dennis. He just had to belt the ball out to Beams and couldn't quite.
Dane Beams! Right here, thank you.
That pressure continues to build, doesn't it? They're absolutely smothering them at the moment. Sheridan's kicked forward. Frost, Pavlich doing the roving. Ballantyne tries to get it out. Fife becoming a real power here. Tommy, you're going to like that one.
It's always great when you highlight a player pre-game and he starts to show a bit
No, he can
into the game.
I think it's universal, isn't he, Tom? How much he's got going. Just reminds you so much of James Hood.
Yeah,
that tall marking midfielder.
Margin 23 points. Sandilands taps it out. Awkward bounce for Mundy. Coming off the line, Young. He's dragged down. Main. Held up is Lumumba, and we'll have a ball up.
Thanks, Chris.
Lumumba, who changed his name. That's been the topic of conversation tonight to Harry O'Brien during the off-season. Sandilands. Young soccers it out wide. Hacked out of there by Johnson towards the boundary, and it's out of bounds on the full. I remember when I was coaching West Perth, Bruce, it comes clubbing back. John Gastiff changed his name actually midweek, which played havoc with my ins and outs. I mean...
Did he let you know, by the way?
No. Well, he did. Late. Short one down the boundary from Langdon, and that's gone out of bounds on the full.
Could he play, Jim?
Chris.
Tony Gastiff.
Did he come back into play?
From what then?
Okay.
No.
Mark Scott.
Just check.
I can't remember. I can't remember. Well, he wouldn't have changed it if he loved it.
Well, the last defender to change his name won a Norm Smith medal, didn't he?
Sandilands.
Yes, last year.
So Sandilands.
The testing bit.
Sandilands to fall forward. Fife's big fly. Well done at the back, Tuvey. Swan having to get deep. Swanee pulled up short there. Sandilands the wall across centre wing. Uses Hill. And they're having Collingwood as they want them just for the minute. Fremantle. Spur. Little left foot forward. Ballantyne. It was a difficult one. Ballantyne kept his head over the footy. Spur probably copped a high one. Well done, Clark. The tackle by Ballantyne okay. On the up by Beams to Adams. Collingwood need to get him on the bounce. McCaffrey out wide. Side bottom. Normally good with ball in hand. Elliott, can they run it now? They need to.
Elliott, likely type around the outer side. Short. Cloak comes to him and backed off. And as a result, I think he confused the kicker. It went to the side of Cloak. He lunged at it, ricocheted off his body and went out of bounds.
He looks a bit wounded there, Swanee, doesn't he?
He
Yeah,
does.
it looks like he's running okay now. But it looked like it was up in the kicking action. Something didn't feel right for him.
After the boundary throw in. Well, going nowhere. Comes to Hill, smothered off the boot. Ricochets about 15 metres. Well done by Swan. Has a terrific record against the Dockers. Hasn't been that busy tonight so far. McFarlane got a fist on it. Beams again. Loved his game. Dangerous spot. But again, the numbers with the Dockers. The running is coming from the Dockers and Collingwood finding it hard to match. That's Walters back in the defensive goal square.
Really liking Stephen Hill's game also. He's using the ball well in the back half. He's actually playing quite a defensive role on opposition half forwards for Collingwood, using the ball exceptionally well.
So Dawson got it short. And Sutcliffe, Walters, De Boer. He had to get rid of it in a hurry, he did. Back to Sutcliffe. That's a penetrating kick forward. Oh, Fife just too good. Took off early. Main was there as well. Handball on. Pearce is going to kick a goal. And the Dockers may be away here. Great stuff, end to end.
Just a bit of a highlights package here of Nat Fife and his extraordinary abilities. That's the ground level work that he's capable of doing, and then obviously launching forward. Over the past 4 years, he's averaged 1.6 contested marks a game, and compared to midfielders,
So
that's
good in the air.
well and truly above the rest.
On the way down, Kenneth got his hand to it. Ricochets to Ball. Down towards half forward. Chopped off down there by Spur. Here's Johnson. Delicately. Barlow back to Johnson, the All-Australian. Playing with confidence now. Sutcliffe. Just the defensive side of the centre circles. Comes across the ground to Duffield. Generally so good with the ball in hand. Dawson. Dawson backs his kicking skills there and needed to, but the man overcommitted, and as a result, Spurs away. Elliott trying to punch it away, paid the price, although the kick doesn't punish Collingwood. Pendlebury got a crumb, hand passed pretty hard towards Langdon. He couldn't control it. Now it spills back inside the forward 50 for the Dockers. Barlow came on Tooby. Over the top, Main gets into the back of the Collingwood player on the ground. I think it was Ball. Meantime, Witts towards half forward, in from the side. Duffield played it well, knocked it away from Cloak. The big man butters up again, knew where the help was, fed it out. Pendlebury, Beam snatches it away from his captain, taken by Cloak, tackled well by Duffield, slapped out of there. McFarlane in the opposite direction. Mazungu, and in tight, Fremantle win another battle.
Ballantyne on the end of it, and they're winning so many of them at the moment, Dennis. So Ballantyne keeps it low, looks a great looking kick. Oh, bang! 60-metre kick that didn't really get more than about 15 metres above, and finds a bloke that we haven't seen a lot of, but you don't need to see a lot of him because Main is a tackling machine. I reckon you can write him down for 2 goals every match, about 12 disposals and about 8 tackles.
And you can generally put your glasses down when he has a shot from here, but just see, even just in the small box there, just taking the air in, the work rate of the Fremantle players is just extraordinary, and the Pies genuinely getting outworked here on every line.
He is so deliberate, isn't he? As Tom said, he rarely misses. Has a lot of shots from within about this range. And there you go. All of that. Lee, you coached against Ross Lyon for a couple of years, I guess. I mean,
Yes.
that was his formative years. He must be a hard guy to coach against.
Well, it's more in those years since I finished 5 seasons ago. But yeah, his ability to make his teams defend well is just legendary now.
Pendlebury stood up in a tackle, well done to Beams. Now Adams finds himself in space, one bounce, running it down towards half forward is second, draws Johnson and kicks into him. Oh, they could ill afford that. Spur, Sutcliffe. Now Fremantle bring it back. Pendlebury should do okay for Collingwood. He's in front, tackled by Crowley. It's 3-on-2. Ball initially stayed in, but Hill couldn't keep it in. And we've got a boundary throw in. 4.5 minutes out from half-time. Friday night, the first of a brand new season at Etihad Stadium. Pretty warm day in Melbourne too, up around 30 degrees. One down by Sandilands. Fife again, shoots it towards half forward, playing in front. The mark is taken by Hanneth.
Which is a good grab, wasn't he? Really stretched the youngster. Kicks the ball out wide. Not a bad looking kick. Pavlich, does he get the bounce? He tries to make it work. Good hands, gets back. Now De Boer normally constructive. Can he get away? Can't. Good tackling, but he pushes forward and Main runs in and playing in front. And Richo talked about the ability of the Docker forwards to play in front earlier. So De Boer just eluding the tackle. He had a bit of an airy, and then he scrambled it forward, and that's a typical Main effort, isn't it? I mean, he's not flash Main. Well, does lightning strike twice here? We did him in last time. Tom, we did him in the last time, but
No, you nailed this, Bruce.
no, you'd think so. The percentages over the years say that he doesn't miss from here very often. There you go again. So that's remarkable.
Footies are flat.
Just, yeah, both sides have decided to play the 200-centimetre ruckman. No, Wicks is not really getting it at all. Hanneth took a mark there, but he's not getting much either. Given Collingwood are 5 goals behind, it's only a matter of time before they somehow or other get more speed in the game and hope like hell then that Grundy can ruck for the rest of the game.
Young Adams kicking it straight to this man. Mustn't have seen him. There goes the kick inside the forward 50 from Sandilands. De Boer in from the side, almost a spectacular mark. Rolls out of the pack, gathered by Sidebottom, who was quickly gathered. Opportunity for Adams, again under pressure. Not a good kick that time. McCaffer missed there by Young. Young tracks it across the 50. Close to the boundary line, run down from behind. Well done by Walters. 5 quick hands. De Boer kicks inside the forward 50. Touched as the call. To be able to knock it away. In trouble, Mazungu, no way through. Well done by Langdon, dragged him down.
He was leading into a stationary corner.
They'll have a ball up.
He's leading in it. He had the ball. Back to the middle, mate. He took possession. Back here.
Here is Witts. Lee talking about the big guys. Beams kept his head over, did well. Free kick.
Collingwood.
Had more disposals than anybody else in the opening term, Beams.
Play on.
What's he up to now? He's got himself up to 20. Swan, wide, not a good kick. Sutcliffe, just being played on Fremantle's terms at the moment. They work so hard to make it on their terms. Johnson, slow kick, not a good one. Well done, Hill, though. Did really well. Fife. Johnson's covered some ground. Always looks a little awkward, but he's such a fine player. Sandilands, this is where he could be really dangerous. Ballantyne, miracle shot around goal. What a goal that was. He's kicked 2.
The work rate of Hayden Ballantyne there was just extraordinary. Only 40 seconds ago, he was the furthest defensive player for Fremantle, pushing right into the back half. The play transitioned down the wings. He's come through the middle of the ground and on the end of it. I mean, that shows you the work rate required to be part of this Fremantle footy club.
Yeah, they're actually, Collingwood seem to want to have an extra player at the stoppages for obvious reasons, to stop Stanley's dominance in the ruck, and they're doing okay in the clearances. But it allows that extra Fremantle defender to drop back, and they're just that rebound now. And if it's Michael Johnson, he's almost the best there is at that.
Yeah.
But it's sort of where you use your forces is part of your coaching decisions to be made. And just at the moment, those forces for Collingwood are maybe in the wrong spot.
Good bounce. Approaching half-time. Hanneth knocks it down. Ball grabs it. Sinclair. Adams. Defensive side of the centre circles. Maxwell. Lumumba in trouble. That's holding the ball. Tried to get between 2 Dockers and didn't succeed. Interesting, Ballantyne has been pretty lively on the forward line. 2 goals. Collingwood just the 1 tribunal charge last season. Guess who was hit? Heath Shaw whacked Hayden Ballantyne. Heath Shaw not here tonight. And Collingwood fans wishing Ballantyne wasn't either, as the ball goes out on the outer side. Spurs got it.
37 minutes since that Swan goal for Collingwood. It's been a drought, hasn't it? The last 7 majors to the Dockers. I mean, this quarter looks like a top 2 team playing a bottom 4 team, doesn't it, right now?
Yeah, dominated the quarter, this one.
Good mark. McCaffer, little victories, but not much happening. That's a good kick to Elliott. The 5 got back and made a really good spoil. And high tackle. Elliott getting it against Spur. Someone's just got to do something before half-time for Collingwood. You can see how long to go. They need a goal. They need something to take into half-time. Can they construct something here in the last minute? McCaffer, this will be their 1 roll of the dice, you feel. Sinclair, they're still too far out. They just need to have a semblance of hope. Now he just sets it up, can take the mark, not quite. It drifts to the pack, no one really onto it, and a boundary throw in. So still no joy. Collingwood deep in attack. They haven't been there all that often in this quarter.
What a terrific turn from the Dockers. Tossed in. Witts flicks it down behind. Beams manufactures a shot, darting around a couple of would-be tacklers. Again, 2 with Cloak at the post. Just about every time that high ball's come in, Cloak has found himself with 2 Fremantle Dockers back. Not necessarily 2 defenders, but 2 Dockers. Pierce, a lot of the football to himself, drives it around the outer side. Not a particularly good kick. There's the siren. Half-time. And Fremantle with a big move. They trailed by 1 point at quarter time. In that term, Collingwood adding just 4 behinds. And Fremantle 6 goals for. Crowley. Haven't seen much of him tonight, just doing his job as we go down to Richard.
Maxie, really good first quarter, but they really got on top there in that second quarter.
Yeah, Sandilands started to get a few through the middle there to their runners, and pretty hard to stop with no pressure on because they're quality ball users. So just got to up our use around the ball, and that'll give us a bit more time because obviously we know how good a defensive pressure team they are in their forward half.
Tough quarter for your defenders. It was in there a lot of the time. They appeared to be trying to open you up late down there.
Yeah, they just, as I said, when the ball's coming in clean, it's pretty hard to defend. And obviously you spend all your time defending and trying to go back the other way. You haven't got the energy to go back the other way because their pressure was so good. So we've just got to make sure we get on top of that contested ball around the footy, and then we'll get back in the third quarter.
Thanks, Nick. Good luck. And it's the Fremantle Dockers by 35 points at half-time.
Stick around because next I reveal who I think are the 3 most valuable players in the AFL.
Socket off the ground, Selwood, and kicks a goal.
Pendlebury is a goal.
Swam's kick, oh what a goal.
Franklin with a hurdle. This will be something.